Everyone keeps waiting for the housing market to crash. They're looking for another 2008 style collapse. But what if the crash is already here, just happening so slowly that nobody is actually noticing?
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
This time, it's not a sudden implosion, it's a gridlock, a freeze, a crisis in slow motion. Homes are unaffordable, supply is frozen, renters are trapped, builders are pulling back, and prices, well, they're still sky high. This isn't a bubble waiting to pop, it's a system that's rigged, that's paralyzed, and that's slowly destroying the middle class. And unless you know where the opportunity really is, you're going to be left behind. Let me show you what's really going on and how to win anyway, no matter what, because right now is actually the easiest time to build wealth if you can see one level deeper. So before I take you to that deeper level, let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan D. Lee, and this is the Wealth Outside of Wall Street YouTube channel. On this channel, we expose the myths of traditional finance, and we help you take control over your money, your income, and ultimately your future by building your own passive income machine. So if you're tired of waiting for broken markets, false promises, and failed predictions, subscribe now and let's dig in. So first off, let's get something straight. This housing crisis, it's not 2008. In 2008, the market crashed because of reckless lending, no income, no asset loans, mass foreclosures, and a surplus of homes that nobody could afford. And in today's market, it's almost the exact opposite. Homeowners are sitting on massive equity. Over 50% of mortgage homes have more than 50% equity. That makes people far less likely to default even in a downturn. Lending standards are still very tight. No more ninja loans. Banks require real income, solid credit, and stable ratios. There's a massive shortage, not a surplus of homes. In fact, the US needs millions more homes just to catch up to the demand that's already here. So we're not facing a market collapse, we're facing something even more insidious, a freeze, a gridlock, a slow, silent squeeze on future generations. And here's the brutal truth of this squeeze that's going on right now. The median US home now costs over $414,000. With mortgage rates sitting or hovering around 7%, and 75% of Americans say they can't afford to buy a home at that cost and at those rates. Even a tiny rate increase, or just a $1,000 bump in home prices, can knock out hundreds if not thousands of potential buyers. We now have two different kinds of Americans in the home ownership economy here in America. We have the haves, those who locked in low rates pre-2021 and are sitting on the low rate, massive equity, a high valued home, but are afraid to let go of that rate to tap that equity. We also have the have-nots on the other side. These are the renters, the first-time buyers. They're stuck. They're watching the markets rise, and they're realizing that because of high rates and rising prices, home affordability is getting further and further out of reach. And the result of all of this is just gridlock. It's a gridlock system where homes don't sell, builders don't build, and buyers, they just can't buy. The question that I get from a lot of people that ask me about this particular crisis is, can we just build our way out of this? In theory, yeah, we probably could, but in reality, it's not just as easy as building more properties and bringing more inventory to the market to bring down prices. New construction is down sharply. Permits are at 5-year lows. Builder confidence for those willing to take the risk to build a home is at near a decade low, and material costs at the same time, they are rising massively. I built the home that I live in during 2020. I'll never forget watching the price of lumber soar. And in addition to all of the material costs, there are massive labor shortages across the United States. In fact, the US needs 2 million new homes per year, but we're building a fraction of that. And even when homes are built, they're often luxury units, not affordable homes for working families. Meanwhile, over 80% of existing homeowners are locked into sub 6% rates, which means they're not selling either. It's not a crash, it's literally a freeze. And it's putting generational wealth out of reach for so many people. Now, here's the opportunity that most people are missing amidst all of this economic gridlock that we're in right now. There are always in demand 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, single-family homes that are still available to you in solid markets at a wonderful price rate. These homes have been the bedrock of American wealth creation for decades, and they still are. Let's look at the data to prove this out. In 1950, the median U.S. home cost $7,000. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home across the United States. Today, that same median home costs over $400,000. Now, what this ultimately means is that's not speculation, that's the power of time, inflation, and consistent demand. Now, what I'm talking about here is not just buying a home that you can live in as a mechanism and as a means to build your wealth in this world with rising demand and low inventory by buying a simple single-family home in a good neighborhood that can be managed consistently whether you live in that neighborhood or not, gives you an opportunity to build wealth almost on autopilot. Even during the 2008 crash from 2000 to 2010, median home value still rose 87%. Now you might be asking yourself, why? I thought that the housing market in 2008 crashed. Is a single family 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in middle America the right place for me to park my money? Well, let me invite you to consider this. Families still need homes, obviously, and the most basic homes still have massive value. The demand for clean, simple housing never goes away, and the supply is massively broken. Let me give you a personal example. I bought this home in 2010, and I've been renting it out for 15 years now. Now, this home does not look like a massive wealth builder, but let me invite you to consider. I bought this home right here for $170,000 back in 2010. Now, just a couple of years ago, I decided to tap into the equity inside of the home to build the home that I currently live in now. I tapped into the equity of this home and several other homes that I own in my rental portfolio, but this home specifically, just to give you a number, was valued just over 4 years ago at over $550,000. What this ultimately meant is for 15 years straight, as I'd been renting out the home, my tenants who I'd been charging rent to had been slowly paying down my mortgage. I went from having a mortgage of just over $150,000 to a mortgage now around $100,000. And at the same time, the home was valued at over $500,000. Now take a good look at this home yet again. This home built massive wealth for me, and when I did a cash out refi, I was able to access the debt in that property without selling the property, and I was able to do it completely tax-free. My friends, owning single-family homes is quite literally the secret to building wealth in this economy. And not just this economy, in any economy. Simple single-family homes, 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes, they are always in demand. And because of the limited supply and massive demand, and the reality that builders aren't building these type of homes anymore, your opportunity to buy, hold, and generate wealth from a simple single-family home is massive. So here's how wealth works in real estate. Number one, you get cash flow. The cash flow keeps you in the game. It pays the bills, it builds margin, and it sustains you. Number two, you get equity. Your equity builds over time through inflation, through amortization, the tenant paying off your loan, and through appreciation. And number three, you get massive opportunities to own and control a large asset with a little of your own money in that equation via leverage. Leverage lets you recycle that equity and grow your wealth even faster. It's not about timing the market anymore. It's about owning the right kind of assets, the right kind of markets, and being in the right kind of system. And over time, if you do this, you win. You win by default. Inflation makes you wealthy. In fact, one of my favorite things to tell people inside of my world is your job as an investor, as an empire builder, someone who understands the game of money, is to convert fake dollars, because that's what we have in our economy today, into real assets. The asset that I just shared with you, a simple 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, an easy way to convert fake money into a real asset. So to cap off this video, the housing market, it's not broken because it's crashing. It's broken because it's rigged, trapping buyers, freezing sellers, and slowly moving the ladder for the middle class to where there will not be a middle class for very much longer. But you don't have to wait for the collapse to get in. You just have to know where to look. On this channel, Wealth Outside of Wall Street, we help people just like you build passive income machines using the most time-tested assets in America, simple cash-flowing single-family homes. We combine that with a private pension and a vault to help generate 6 figures of tax-free income for the rest of your life and a portfolio that you cannot outlive. My friends, the pathway to financial freedom is easier today than it's ever been before. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel, smash that button, hit that notification bell so you see all of the videos coming out, and share this video with a friend. Friends, they don't let friends retire broke. My name is Ryan D. Lee, so let's rise up and live free together.